Hi everyone, welcome back to a diary of a first-time property developer. For anyone that hasn't seen my videos before, my name's Stephen Knowles, and this series is showing you how we've taken an office building in Edenbridge and changed it into 7 residential units.
And you can't learn this in a textbook. You've got to do it, you've got to feel it, understand what the steps are.
The point of these videos is to show you all the good bits and the bad bits. And now that we're getting to the end of our project, we are coming up against a couple of bits which we could have done better earlier, and they're causing us some slight issues now. But as long as we can overcome them and learn for next time, then we're okay with that. One of the things that we've had issues with is the doors and door linings, and now the architrave for the doors. So some of the openings for the doors have not had the correct door sizes ordered. We were told to order door sizes X, Y and Z, which we have done, but unfortunately at some point in the build, for whatever reason, the door openings don't now match the door sizes that we bought. In some places the door lining is not deep enough, which is now causing problems putting the architrave on. But like I say, we'll have to find a way around it, and we will just be more on it on the next one. Also, since the last update, we have now opened up a large trench for our new water connection. We already did this before. We trenched out to the front of the building to the road. We passed the water regs, and then we were waiting for the connection, only to be told that we couldn't get the connection within probably 6 months, because our road is owned by Network Rail, and that means you have to have a special legal agreement called a BAPA with them, which takes 6 months to be put into place. This was a little bit annoying, seeing as we put our paperwork into the water company in November, and I think it is now June. We put a plan B in place, and we've trenched around the building. Because our land is a lot higher than the road behind, we've had to trench at 750 all the way to within, I would say, a couple of meters of the boundary at the back, and then we've gone down roughly 3 meters. What I think will then need to happen is the water company will need to dig a trench on the other side, and I think we'll need to mole under the footing for the wall. I mean, they're charging us £13,500 to connect us, so if they have to get a mole out to do that little bit, a couple of meters, hopefully they can do that within the charge. Just to put it into perspective, so far I think I've spent around £1,200 to have the trench done, which is around 35 meters. That includes the hire of a 3-ton digger and a driver, all of the pipe, and because it's 35 meter, I had to buy 50 meter rolls, other, sundry bits and pieces. So yeah, for £13,000, I'm sure the water company can connect 2 meters into our land. Okay, so I think that's enough talking. I will put in some footage, maybe some from last week that I did, definitely some from the dig, and I'll have a little spin round and show you the issues with these doors. Last week I put out a video of a how to put in a new water connection, and we've had to do it all over again. Obviously the video was the last time we did it. I just got all the footage together and did that. But what we've done, we had to get a larger machine for round the corner, and I'll show you why in a second. But we've dug our trench starting at where the pipes will need to go into the building, and we've dug it down. You need to be 750 under the ground, but I think we went probably 800. All the pipes are in and we've covered them over with some shingle. What happened here was we came, and we think that this is a old electric cable. We believe that's dead. So we then had to go wider onto where we've dug for our electric cable, just so we could fit our stuff, our new pipes in the middle of the trench. So we've gone all the way down, all the way round, managed to catch that, and it looks like for some reason it's got a connector on it anyway, so I wonder why that was, but that just feeds that water drain there. So we will get another connector and connect that back up. So went all the way. Before I show you the hole, that's the debris that came out. So this is a house as well at the back of our building, and that's the top floor. So you can imagine we have had to dig down. I don't know if that's going to show the depth on the video. I think to the top of that fence to down there is in feet 13 and a half foot. All of the light coloured mud there, that's actually concrete. So it's like it's got a retaining wall with like a haunched concrete footing for the wall, and that is obviously to retain all of this side to stop it falling in the road on the other side. Hopefully what we've done now is we've got to the depth where once it's connected on the other side, the pipe will always be 750 from the surface. So that is the idea there. I'm guessing that the water company will have to mole under this to get in, but they've got to go from there to just the other side of that fence, and I think the price is £13,000 for the connection, so they can afford to get a mole out to dig that for them. Another little thing that we're going to have to reinstate, there's a big soakaway under there, and if you can just see that piece of grey pipe there, that was the inlet for it. Unfortunately that has gone with the dig out. So like I say, we've got the pipes there, they just go under that foul drain there and then back into our trench. Just give you the idea of the amount of material that comes out. So yes, 2 steps forward, 1 step back for the water connection, but hopefully I'll have some good news when we get the regs done. I'm hoping to get someone out to do regs this week and then connection shortly after. Okay, so I'll do a little bit on the doors. We are really happy with the doors and the quality of them. We got all of our doors, which includes 7 front doors, I think 8 bedroom doors, 7 bathroom doors and a utility door for I think around £10,000, which I personally didn't think was bad. That is for full door sets, so they come with the frames. For example, the bedroom, these are fire doors, so you're going to have your strip in here. But what the carpenter is saying is, and this one isn't the worst, but it is a good one to show you, that the door frames do not fit the door opening in terms of the depth. So when they come to put the architrave, I'm not going to be able to show you exactly because we have packers in, but it would leave a space like that. Now, again, this is probably all stuff we can get around, but in terms of when they priced, they're a subcontractor, so when they priced to the main contractor, you know, they priced for door sets, so they should be able to do more per day, and then they're expecting to be able to do X amount of architrave per day, and now that probably not the case. It's going to take a little bit more to work around. So the issue is we are the customer of the main contractor, so really that's something for the main contractor and his subcontractors to sort out. And to be honest, that is partly why we decided to go for a main contractor, because we didn't want to have these interactions with each different trade. And just coming to the other side, so obviously the other side is nice and easy because they've managed to fit it one side flush, but then that just leaves the small overhang the other side. So here in flat 5, it's a good example of what it should be like. So this is the door lining, nice and flush. And again, flush on this side. So this is what we should have. But as you will have seen, on some of the other ones, there's quite a big lip. And this door, the opening was not correct either. So we've actually had to get another door. And I think the guys have made this door surround in the end, the frame. But like I say, there's always a way to overcome it. But then this is a positive from last time you would have seen. We've had the plasterers in and they had some just bits and pieces needed doing. But one of the main areas was the communal area, including the stairs. And that's now done. And I can't remember what was on there. I think there was like some architrave or beading or something, but that's gone, and now we've just got a nice little lip detail. And I think that's 90% of the plastering done. We've now got the door surrounds that will need to be done just to finish those off. And again, the plasterers have been into unit 4 and finished that off, and we have now got our extractor fan as well. So I think that's all the extractors in, even though the cabinet is not actually on the wall, it's now wired in. So again, I think that's all of those wired in. So it won't be too long until these are done now. In the duplex, we decided to put IKEA packs upstairs, and we're going to get the carpenters to sort of make them look like they're fitted. It's a bit of an in-between between having a freestanding and a fully fitted. So in terms of the cost, I think it's more cost than having a freestanding, but hopefully it'll look better and it won't be as much as having a custom built one. Okay guys, so that's everything for this week. If you have made it all the way to the end, please consider subscribing, and I will see you again next week.